How are you people doing? It's a Friday and we're walking into a long weekend, and I'm quite excited about the long weekend. Not that it is any different from the lockdown that's currently happening, but a very warm welcome to yet another live session. I am trying to keep this a little more consistent. I'm trying to do this a little more often and see how you and I can connect a lot more, because it's the lockdown and there seems to be a lot more time to connect with you guys abhi. Not that it wasn't that way earlier, but because of the seminars and because of the constant traveling that I was engaged into, I don't ever remember being home for as long as I can remember. I don't remember spending these many weekends at home. My family is like, we've seen your face too often, which is true, because I've really been at home and it's kind of been a good feeling, an absolutely good feeling. But it's also given me a lot of time to kind of look through my calendar, and one of the good things is I get to come in live. So, hello everybody. Hi Khushi, nice to see you again. And Manoj and Ajay. And hi Gopi, how are you doing? And Vansh and all the people who are live right now. Yes, it's Friday, right? So, what are your plans for this Friday? I asked somebody this morning. I asked one of my employees, like, what, ma'am? It's not like I can go partying. And I said, that's not the only plan you can have. So it was kind of nice to see that everybody's Friday, Saturday, Sunday is only related to partying and drinking, which is not really true in my case, and I'm sure it's not true in a lot of your cases. But what are you guys doing this weekend? It's Eid on Monday, so I'm sure a lot of y'all are gearing up for that. It's been quite overwhelming to see people follow the rules of the pandemic this time, and I know how crazy it can get to break your habits, but people have managed to do that. People always manage to surprise, and human beings are one of the best creations in the world, because they always surpass what they are designed or they are expected to do. So that's quite amazing. Ajay, you're saying I look like Pariniti Chopra. You have no idea how many times I've heard that. Fun fact, I once remember I was sitting in the flight, and this flight attendant, she comes in and she's like, hi ma'am, and she actually talks to me about everything, and then she gives me an upgrade. So I am there and I'm like, okay, I don't mind an upgrade, it's a nice experience. And then later I realized that the reason why she gave me an upgrade was because she thought I was Pariniti Chopra, which I have no problem with. But I have heard this way too many times. When someone comes to me and tells me, Rohini, you know who you look like? I'm like, yes, I know who I look like, because I've heard it so many times. So, yes, fabulous speech, super performance. Thank you, Arasu. Thank you for being nice and saying something nice. Talking also like Pariniti Chopra. Do I? That is something I don't know. Manoj, you're saying planning for a startup this lockdown time. I think that's a great thing, Manoj. In fact, it's a very positive thing for you to say that, I'm planning to invest myself and go ahead and live my dream and start my entrepreneurial venture. I think that's amazing, because a lot of people right now are withdrawing from their dreams because of fear, because of lack of understanding, or because of just not thinking that the future can get any brighter. So the fact that you're saying that, I think it's fabulous. Shankar is saying, hello ma'am. Hi. Shankar and Helena. Hi. Helena. I'm sorry for that. Ice melting speech. Okay, thank you so much. Sachin is saying, I look pretty, thank you. Got a lot of time to work and come up with a startup idea. Yes, share what your startup ideas are. I'd love to see that. Hi Dinanath. Anuj, hi. Roy, yes, everything is well. So, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most important thing that I thought I could talk to you guys about is I have a couple of ideas in my mind, and there was one thing that I specifically wanted to talk to you guys about this time. But before I move into that, please tell me, how are you guys doing? How are you guys handling the lockdown? How are you guys managing the entire fiasco that's happening, which now seems to be second nature to all of us? We've all been at home. This is lockdown 4.0. And at this point of time, I understand that a lot of people are gotten into this mode of getting used to the lockdown, yes, but also getting used to a certain pattern of thinking. You see, ladies and gentlemen, in my entire life and in my entire experience, one of the most important things that I have learned is you are an outcome of the decisions that you make. You are an outcome of the decisions that you make. And your decisions are highly created by what you think here. Very, very important that while you are physically striving for your dreams, it's very important to understand what are you capable of here. Because every person that I know of has first conquered what is within him or her and then spoken about what is outside. So while I know that I coach a lot of people on business and I coach a lot of people on the art of speaking, about how they can become a speaker, trainer, coach, and how they can impact the world, one of the most important things that I get asked often is, Rohini, you come across somebody who's got a lot of energy, and Rohini, you come across somebody who is very successful, and Rohini, you come across someone who's very positive. Well, all of this is an extension to what I feel here. Every single thing that I do is an extension to what I truly believe here. Do I not have conflicts in my life? That's not true. I have a lot of conflicts in my life, just like how you have a lot of conflicts in your life. I have a lot of decisions that I need to make every single day, the way you need to make a lot of decisions every single day. I have my dilemmas all the time. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, do I really want to get out of bed? And do I really want to eat the lunch that's cooked? Or do I really want to go through the routine when I get on my mat to work out? And I'm like, do I really want to spend time working out? So every single thing that you experience, I experience it too. But here is where the difference is. The difference is that I spend a lot of my time actually planning on how do I want to conquer what I believe here? How do I want to conquer my mind? How do I want to be more mindful during this pandemic and during the fear of any kind that has existed? And my question to each one of you today is, are you being mindful of what you think, where you invest your energy, and the kind of thoughts that you have every single day? Are you being mindful? And by mindful, I'm talking to you guys about a very important weapon that each one of you have, a very important tool that each one of you have that you can use to grow and become someone that's unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or you don't like it, and I don't care how many times you've heard this, please understand the importance of this. It just doesn't matter how many times in your life you've heard the same things over and over again. It doesn't matter. What matters is what you hear. How do you put it into practice? Are you someone who walks around and says, Rohini, I'm never going to complain in my life? And the moment there is a stressful situation, you're the first one complaining. Or are you somebody who says, Rohini, I'm going to become a better person today? And the moment you see someone who you dislike or you resent, you don't at all work towards becoming a better person, and you go back into that same pattern of saying, मैं क्यों करूँ अगर वो नहीं कर रहा है तो? Please understand this. Whether you want to be successful in your business, whether you want to be successful in your relationship, whether you want to be successful with yourself, it is very important first to be successful with your mind. So there are a lot of things that I do when it comes to my life, my day, and how do I take care of the most important temple, I call it, the most important part of my life. So before I tell you a few things that I do, tell me what are the few things that you do. What is it that you are doing currently to be more mindful during this pandemic? What are you doing in order to ensure that you're not letting the stress get to you, and more than stress, you're not letting people's negativity get to you? Oh my God, if only the entire world would stop complaining and stop being so negative. You have no idea how much we would vibrationally shift, we would shift in terms of energy, how much more we would elevate. Like, there is no other way for people to really tap into their energies and tap into what they are capable of. One of the ways of doing it is, if people stop complaining and if people stop spreading fear. So what is it that you guys do in order to get over that? Khushi, you're saying you live in the present. See, that's a very good thing, Khushi. I think it's very important to live in the present. However, tell me this, how often in a day can you live in the present? Because Science says that we are always going back into this dreamland. Our mind is always going back into what if, what must, what should. And very interestingly, we keep going back to the same thoughts over and over again through the day. So when we keep going back there, we need to, of course, consciously pull ourselves back here. But living in the present is a good theory. It's a great theory, which I think everybody should follow and turn it into reality. Having said that, how often are you spending your time living in the present? One of the things that you can do, which I do every time I have like a stressful situation, every time I have, one of these people spreading hate and trolling me online, or every time I have a challenge with my relationship, I think one of the most important things that I do is I tell myself that, Rohini, one step at a time. I always tell myself this, one step at a time. Now, what happens when you tell yourself one step at a time? This is one of the first things I want you to learn today, is tell yourself one step at a time. When I tell myself that, Rohini, one step at a time, I'm telling myself, I'm basically commanding my brain and my mind to just focus on what's the next step it is that I can take. What is the next immediate thing that I can control? What is the next thing that I can, look at and I can assess and I can work towards? And when I say that, I am ridding myself of all the fears of what if I take this step, what will happen 3 days later? What will happen 20 days later? If you are somebody who's having a breakup, for example, if you look at data right now, there are maximum people who are having maximum breakups right now in terms of marriages, in terms of relationships, because practically the proximity is reduced, the number of times you meet your loved one has reduced, the entertainment that's a core part of any relationship has reduced, the distractions have reduced. So a lot of relationships are getting really challenging. So what a lot of people do, Manish, if you're saying I'm dragging myself, please feel free to leave the call. I'm totally okay with that. Coming back to this, it's very important to understand that when these relationships are stressful, you cannot control your relationship for a very long time. You can't. And the fact that you try and you control everything, what's going to happen to my relationship today? Will I get married? Will my marriage remain? What will happen to my family? Now, these are million thoughts that you're tampering around with, million thoughts that you're burdening yourself with. So what you do is, when you say one step at a time, you're basically telling yourself that, you know what, right now, let me see what is it that I can do right now. Should I try and communicate with this person? Should I try and have a conversation with this person? Should I try and just calm myself down and distance myself with everything? What is it that I'm supposed to do? And this conversation really, really, really will help you reprogram yourself and being able to deal with things much better. Same thing during this pandemic, ladies and gentlemen, that what will happen after the pandemic, what will happen once the lockdown is lifted, what will happen when the world comes back to its usual self, you cannot control that. So instead of focusing on that, focus on the fact that what is it that you can do right now? What about your job can you alter? What about your business can you take a call on and control? What about your relationships it is that you can do right now? What about your mental health and mental peace? So one step at a time, that's all. And that for me is one of the most important things that I have been able to handle and take care of, which has kept me going for almost 2 months with a lot of happiness. Okay. Snehal, if I'm making sense, then please type a yes that, Rohini, you're making sense, and then I'm going to move on to the next step. So at least type a yes and I'm going to come back to that. Snail, you're saying, I'm a team leader and handle a team of 15. Everything is going through a stressful work from home life. Talking to them every day and giving them the positivity by booking them and by boosting them and what have you done? Helping me to overcome the situation. I have to keep my team happy, which makes me feel that if I feel, then only I can keep them positive. Well, Snail, that's true. But it's also, see, I'm not talking about forced happiness. Please understand this. I'm not somebody who likes theory and I'm not someone who spends my time bullshitting. Meko interest bhi nahi hai, and I also understand that, look, life is practical, yeah. Life is reality. So if you're going to spend time bullshitting, which is not going to take you or me, anybody, anywhere. So please get practical, that if you're going to say that if only I'm positive, I can turn my team into positive resources. Nahi, your team understands that you're human. So once in a while, it is okay to completely lose it. It's perfectly okay. But always understand that as long as you are following things effectively, your team will also follow them. Because your team is going to look at the leader and they're going to mirror the leader. They're not going to say that, okay, my leader never gets stressed, my leader is never ever upset. No, because that's not even reality. That in fact is too much pressure on yourself. If you are going to pressurize yourself so much saying that I can never be unhappy, I can never be upset, now that's ridiculous, okay? Because it's not realistic to have good days all the time. You have good and you have bad days, and it's very important to understand how do you deal with that, okay? So that's one of the first things that I do in order to stay mindful during the pandemic. Now, another thing that I really, really recommend to all of you, which I know you've heard it a lot of times, okay, I'm really sorry. My phone fell. I always have like a crazy disaster every time. Okay, I'm not going to say disaster, it's too heavy a word, but I always have like some technical glitch or some funda happening. See, this is called being human. It's very natural to fall and break yourself and all of that, which is totally okay. Okay, all right. So one of the next things that I was saying that I believe everybody must do, and something that I truly follow is during this pandemic, what happens is we are being very hard on ourselves. Okay, if we have been waking up late, we start constantly being hard on ourselves. If we miss out a workout, we start being very hard on ourselves. If we don't do workout for an hour and do it only for 40 minutes, we start being really hard on ourselves. If we eat extra, we start being really hard on ourselves. Okay, what am I leading to? I'm leading to the fact that stop being hard on yourself. Please understand that by constantly demotivating yourself with those internal dialogues, it's not going to do anything. You know how many people are the biggest self-critics of themselves? It's ridiculous. How many people are self-critics and they will get an award for being a self-critic? It's ridiculous, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, leave the criticism to the world. They will do a fabulous job at it. I'm telling you this again. Leave the criticism to the world. They'll do a fabulous job at it. You please take up the other role, which is being your best friend. During this pandemic, please understand it's not life as usual. So if you are deviating from things, it's totally okay. It's totally okay. So one of the most important things that I say that you can be really mindful about is stop criticizing yourself about things, about not investing in your startup, about failing at a certain business, about not being able to work out, about not being able to do your job very well, about not being able to handle the stress very well. Well, it's human to err. Please understand. So it's totally okay if you guys are failing and faltering. The better thing that you can do is take help. Go surround yourself by good people. Surround yourself by good deeds. Do good deeds. If you're going to do good deeds, trust me, that's going to work millions and millions of miles for you rather than you self-criticizing yourself, because nahi hoga kuch bhi. It's really, it doesn't make any sense. Okay. So it's very important for you to stop being your biggest critic. Start patting your back. Everybody put your right hand up and pat your back for all the good things that you've done so far, how far you have come. And please understand that this is not a normal situation. So to expect you to function normally is not fair. Okay, so do not do that. So that's for me the second most important thing that you can do during this lockdown, which is stop being the biggest critic of yourself. And the third thing that I want you guys to understand, when I come to that, Manish, you're saying, I think failure teaches us a lot. Yes, it's true, Manish, but failure only teaches you if you're willing to learn. See, I have a problem with people coming up with fancy statements and not following it. You know how many people I know that says, karm kar, phal ki ichha mat rakh. How many people are really not concerned about the future? Okay? So while failures teach us a lot, it is only if you're open to learning. If you are not open to learning, please, nobody can teach you anything. In fact, failures is going to make you one of the most bitter people in the world if you're not going to be willing to learn from that. Yeah, I like that clapping blue shirt guy. Very cool. Okay. Find time for yourself. Keep doing things which might not be related to your profession, but you love to do. It'll help you in your day-to-day life. Ankush, bang on. Okay, I love to dance. I mean, you guys should come and be my dancing partner for a few hours, and we're going to sweat out and we're going to come back glowing with the amount of happiness and joy that I find. So if you are somebody who loves dancing, then yes, come, let's dance, because you really must engage in something that is apart from your profession. I'm somebody who loves my profession. You know, I always say this, and I'm very glad I discovered this line, that my work is my luxury. Very few people in this world can say that. My work is my luxury. I love what I do. I love the ups and downs. I love the challenges. I love everything about it. Having said that, I still ensure that I remove time to do something that I love, something that's away from my work, because that really helps you recharge and reboost. Also, what happens is if you break your patterns, which is you have habits and you have certain routines every single day, when you keep breaking those routines and go and do something else and come back, it's like this immediate boost to your mind, which pushes it to think differently, to adapt to different situations, to try different things. And what happens with that is you land up functioning much better, because when you keep exposing yourself to different environments, different situations, different patterns and routines, you are basically pushing. It's like your mind's a muscle, right? The more you use it, the more stronger it gets. So when you're using it in different spaces, it gets much stronger. Like one of the things that I know that you should do, which I do a lot of times, is if you want your brain to break the routine, something as simple as when you wake up in the morning and when you brush, and if you're someone who's a right-handed person and you brush with your right hand, brush with your left hand, and you'll realize that it's not as easy as it is to brush with the right, which means your brain's more active, your mind's more active to ensure that the task is done more effectively. Go try it out tomorrow and tell me how it goes. In fact, you can post it on this very conversation that Rohini, today I brushed with my left hand. Well, not a lot of y'all will do it, but whoever does it, I would love to hear what happens, right? So things like that, what happens is you are able to push yourself to do something more different, and you are basically charging your mind to think differently. So yes, always do something that's away from your routine. So Rohini, I've always enjoyed your sessions. It boosts me a lot. Thank you so much, Manish, for showing love. I love people who show love, by the way. Your programs are so expensive. Why don't you make it a bit economical so that even we students can take? Well, Mohammed Anas, I'll be very honest with you. If you're telling me my programs are very expensive, I have things which are $4.99, which is my book. I know people who look at that book and say, "Roni, it's too expensive. Yeah, make something a little more cheaper." I say, "Okay, pick up the Kindle version, which is probably $2.99 or something." People say, "Roni, that's also very expensive. Make something much cheaper." Then I do a webinar, which is for almost a 2 hour session. I'm like, "Okay, invest $2.99." People are like, "Okay, I'm not investing that. Everybody's doing it for free. You also do it for free." Then they come into my free seminar, and there they say, "Okay, fine, your program's too expensive." So listen, I don't believe that anything is expensive. There's a lot of free content here, and there's a lot of content for which people have to pay, because a lot of my energy goes into it, and my team's energy goes into it, who I have to pay at the end of the day. Having said that, I think it's a mindset, right? Pick a program that works for you, but money cannot define your destiny. So if you're going to tell me, Rohini, your program's too expensive, I'm just going to ask you against what? And more than anything else, I'm going to ask you that find out the value that you're getting, yeah, because that's the main game. More than money, it's the value that's the main game. Okay, right. Startup idea, I'm currently working on online grocery store. Manoj, that's what you're saying, and online liquor delivery aggregator. If you are going to work on anything to do with liquor, you will have like the biggest fan around. So I think it's a good idea. Look at the pros and cons, but I think it's a great idea. No audio. You're telling me now no audio. Okay, please tell me you can hear me. Pata chala after all this conversation, you guys can't even hear me. So Murugan is telling me no audio. So please tell me if you can hear me. Can you share me the name and how to purchase? What, the book? I have written a book called The 1% Club. So it's a fabulous book. Fabulous book. You guys must pick it up. All the 102 people, 104, 114 people on this conversation, go pick up the book. Also, ladies and gentlemen, every rupee that I make from this book goes into my foundation called the Rohini Mundra Foundation. So it'll be supporting old parents. So please go pick it up. It'll be amazing. You can pick it up from my website and so on and so forth. Okay. So I've spoken about 2 ways of being mindful. Now I'm going to tell you the third way that I believe which will help your mindset during this pandemic. You see, pandemic is about fear. Pandemic is about the things that are not going right. Pandemic is about all the things that are going crazy, right? So one of the most important thing that I follow every day when I shower, when I work out, when I'm with my family, especially when I'm with my family and so many more people, is I do something called as my gratitude journal. Ladies and gentlemen, the power of gratitude is unseen and unexperienced by most of you. There are so many things to be grateful about. So many things. The fact that you are alive, you are a human being. You had to fight millions of cells to be alive. Millions. Imagine the competition there, and you got lucky. You are someone who's alive today, and I cannot tell you the importance of gratitude. If you cannot be grateful for being alive, you can be grateful for your job. You can be grateful for your family, for your mom, for your sister, for the fact that you're healthy, for the fact that you can smile, for the fact that somebody compliments you, for the fact that God's made you the way you are, for the fact that you've got brains, for the fact that you can spread love, for the fact that opposable thumb, oh my God, you can be grateful for so many things. Ladies and gentlemen, for me, the number one thing on my list. Hi, Ravneet. How are you? It's nice to see you. He won't tell me a hi, so don't bother. The number one thing in my list of being sane, of being humble, being more grounded is being grateful. Okay, what is it that you are grateful for? Are you somebody who actually, Santosh, that's something I'm very grateful for. The fact that my energy is so vibrant and that it naturally comes. It's not that I work really hard for it. I'm extremely grateful for that. So I think that's an amazing thing for me to be grateful for. I'm very grateful for you guys here. I'm grateful for all the love that you guys show, or I'm good, Ravneet. All the love that you guys show, or all the fact that you guys listen to this, the fact that you guys share the videos, or the fact that you're just applying this, right? There are a lot of things that you guys can be grateful for, and you can start that from right now. Tell me, what are you grateful for? Are you grateful for being born in a country like India? Are you grateful for being born in a family like yours? Are you grateful for being able to know what your passion and purpose is, or being able to follow that? Are you grateful for the money that you have in your pocket? What is it that you're grateful for? Yeah, tell me that, okay? Abhijit, you're saying I am alive every day. I'm assuming you're saying you're grateful for that. Dilbi Tapa, you're saying, when is my next webinar? My next webinar is on next Sunday in the morning, 10 to 12. So you'll find the details on my page. Diana, you're saying hi. Okay, guys, tell me, what are you grateful for? Okay, with that, I would really know that you're putting in the effort to find something nice. All of you on this group, I actually want about 100 answers. So tell me, what are you grateful for? Abhi, you're telling me any program for business development. I do programs for entrepreneurs because I'm a business coach, and I'm a life coach, but I'm a business coach. So I help people turn their passion into profit. So that's kind of what I'm grateful for. Parents I have. Abhijit, your parents are going to be very happy hearing that. Sorry, got to go. No problem. Tell me, what are you grateful for? Dharma, you're saying I love you. Thank you very, very much. Grateful to hear you. Thank you so much, Gopi. Grateful for as many foresights is good and almost gets into reality soon or later. Grateful for as my foresight is good and almost gets into reality sooner or later. Okay, your foresight is good. I understood the first part of it. I'm trying to figure out what did you mean by the second one. Grateful for everything, especially grateful to have you as my coach. Deepthi, you made me very proud for the kind of things that you have grown and achieved. And I was reading your letter today, and I thought it was so nice when you said that you have crafted I was somebody who was lifeless, and you've put life into me, and today I can live my passion. And one of those lines, and I was almost very overwhelmed when I was reading that. So it was very sweet of you. I'm grateful to have you as my coach. Thank you so much for that, Sachin. I'm grateful for perfectly healthy body, free from illness. Yes! Oh my God, the number of you who are supposed to be grateful for a good body. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please understand this. If you have a car and you're going to constantly oil your car, you're going to constantly take care of your car, you're going to fuel your car, please understand that you've got to love your body more than you love your car or your bike, yeah. It is very important to do that. So please ensure that you fuel your body and keep it away from illness. And the only way of doing that is if you wake up every morning and either get on your mat. And the reason I said mat twice during this conversation is because I have been doing yoga for the last month and a half, and I'm loving it. I'm loving exploring myself through myself via these practices of asana, and I'm loving it. And right now I'm grateful for the teacher that I found who's teaching me yoga. She is brilliant. Her company is called Vritti. You guys must go Google it. And anytime somebody does something nice for me, I want to spread it out to the world, which I think is a very rare quality in today's time. So please go experience that if you guys can. So I'm very grateful for that. So ladies and gentlemen, you guys must go and do things for your body. Wake up in the morning and exercise or jog or go for a walk or do some pranayama or breathing, drink a lot of water. Please remember that a healthy body is a healthy mind, and in order to have a great mindset during this pandemic, it's very important to have a good body. It's very, very important. Okay. How to contact you for coaching? Well, I don't really have the time to for any one-on-one, so you'll have to get into one of my programs, Abhijit, which is where I coach people. So you will get the details on my page, or you will be able to get that on my website, www.rohinimundra.com. Khushi, you're saying you're grateful for having me as a mentor. Thank you so much. It's very overwhelming to see all you guys come and watch me live after all the coaching, after all the conversation. You guys still come and watch me live. Khushi, ladies and gentlemen, is somebody I've been coaching for a while now, and she is someone who started off from scratch, and today she is an author of her book called Khushi Unlimited. You guys must pick it up. And I am marketing it left, right, center every time I go live or I go on a call, is because she deserves it. She's worked really hard for it, and I think she's done a fabulous job. So please go pick that up, and it's amazing. Nilesh, you're saying I'm grateful to have a family. Fabulous. Grateful for what I've done. I count my blessings. Superb. I'm grateful I'm watching you right now. Thank you so much, Hemant. Even I am. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, these are a couple of things. I know I've had a long conversation, but in this long conversation, I have basically told you all three things that you all must do. If you all remember, tell me those three things that I have asked you all to do on how you can be more mindful during this pandemic, and how you all can basically work towards yourself. The first thing that I told you all is follow your life in terms of one step at a time. Whatever stressful situation that you are in, remember the only way of beating it is by focusing on things one step at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself with things. The second most important thing that I have spoken to you, which I believe is really going to change a lot of things, is stop being the biggest self-critic. It does not help to criticize yourself left, right, center. Remember to stay focused, and remember to be nice to yourself. Leave the criticism to the world. You be your best friend so that you can do things better. These are not normal situations and circumstances, so it is not possible for you to function normally. So even if you are not, do not criticize yourself. Pat yourself on the back for every effort that you are taking. And the third and the most important thing is, please be grateful. Grateful for the things that you have. Remember, every morning, even if you practice the exercise of gratefulness and gratitude, which is you wake up and you talk about the things that you're grateful for. Don't limit it, don't restrict it. Do as much as you can, because if I tell you do 5 and you can't do 5, and then you go back to criticizing yourself, my second point goes into vain. So it's very important that you get up and be grateful for the things that you have. Gratitude has power that I cannot even begin to tell you, and I really wish for you guys to experience that. So these are my three things via which you can be mindful, and you can do something that is really, really going to make a lot of difference in your life, right? Be safe, be at home. So that for me, of course, is one of the most important things right now. Only get out if it's necessary. Sanitize, wash your hands. If you are someone who's experiencing any symptoms, then quarantine yourself, because it is not your everyday affair. These are times that are not like every day. So I really hope that you guys do that. And if you like what I said, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, follow my page, but most importantly, share your experience and share this video with whoever it is that you think can benefit. You know, ladies and gentlemen, sharing is caring. What you give out there will come back to you. So you can just press the share button. And for all of you who do, God bless you. May you find a lot of magic this week, and may you find a lot of luck this week, and may you also find a lot of gratitude and thanks from me for sharing this, because if you know somebody who wants it and if you share it, then you will be doing something nice for them, right? So the rest of you, I really hope that you had fun today. I'm regular doing yoga, Surya Namaskar 41 daily. Wow, 41 Surya Namaskar is brilliant. I think if I reach 7 a day, it's going to be it's going to be something that I'll be very proud of. So someday I shall reach 41. No, I don't think I'll reach 41. 21 maybe. One of those World Yoga Day probably. Yeah. So thank you so much. Any upcoming events in Pune? Abhijit, I can't travel. Nobody can travel, Abhi. So it's very difficult. But yes, there are a lot of webinars of mine happening. They're not free because I tried doing free and people just take it for granted. So plus I'm very tired of people asking me, everybody's doing it for free, so you should also do it for free. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care what everybody else is doing. I'm doing what I can do to the best of my ability, and I'm sure people have their reasons of doing it for free. But I want to do it because I want to really encourage people who are really dedicated to their future. So yeah, a lot of webinars happening. You must watch. And Mr. Prakash, you have been missing in action for quite some time. I'm going to talk to you on the closed group. I haven't heard from you in quite some time. So Prakash is a part of my long-term program and coaching him. So haven't heard him. I was actually thinking about you a while ago. Okay. Hear you more on the next webinar? Absolutely, yes. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. It was awesome coming live. Funny, I wanted to go live on Insta and Facebook, but my system wasn't detecting my Wi-Fi. So just Facebook for the day. But it was fun talking to you guys. Thank you so much for coming in. Lots of love. May God bless you guys. You are all in my prayers. May this world experience the goodness that you are, and may this world give you the goodness that it has, because you deserve every extraordinary thing in this world, and this world deserves every extraordinary thing that you are. Okay, you guys are fabulous. You guys are fantastic. I had an amazing time talking to you guys. I'm going to see you guys soon. God bless you all. Once again, if you liked it, tell me I liked it. Share your gratitude list. Tell me next day if you've brushed with your left hand, and share the video. I love you guys. Take care. Have a fabulous weekend. And for all of you all who are celebrating Ramzan, Ramadan Kareem, I think that's what they say. So I wish you a lot of love and a lot of luck on this auspicious festival. So may God bless you, and may you continue to do the good that you are doing. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, take care. God bless you all. I loved talking to you all, and I'm going to see you guys soon. Bye bye.